Welcome to the BBB Sharing podcast. My name is Paris Lape. I am here today with Derek and Alex Alford here with Fiscal Fitness Tax and Financial Services. Thank you guys so much for being here.
It's our pleasure. Good morning, Paris.
Morning. Yeah, thank you for having us.
Of course. Well, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves and what you do with Fiscal Fitness Tax and Financial Services?
Alex, you can go first.
Yep. Okay. So my name's Alexander Alford. I'm a managing tax preparer as well too. Managing assistant. So I assist Derek here. My father, Derek Alford. So yeah, that's what I do. I usually work with data entry, things like that. So yep. With our clients.
Okay. Good morning, listening audience. Again, my name is Derek Alford, registered financial consultant, CEO, founder of Fiscal Fitness Tax and Financial Services. We've been in existence for over 35 years, since 1990. We've helped hundreds of clients over the years, and we're glad to be here. Thank you for this opportunity from the Better Business Bureau to spread the word about fiscal fitness.
Of course, and it's coming at the perfect time. Tax season is upon us. I mean, April will be here before we know it.
Yes.
So thank you for being here. I'm excited to have a father-son duo here, in the podcast studio. So let's go over your business a little bit. You do consulting, preparing for businesses, small businesses, families, individuals.
Yes.
So go over about your day-to-day and what your business runs like.
Well, again, like you said, we help individuals, families, and small businesses. We've helped them for years. Our goal is to help our clients to be financially stronger and to be financially fit, hence fiscal fitness, the play on words. So the day-to-day is we, as far as taxes are concerned, clients call in, we have a lot of repeat clients, hundreds of repeat clients. So we reach out to them, folks call us, we have a website and all that. And so we receive their information. Everything we do is confidential. We don't share it with anyone outside of the client's permission or giving consent. And then we do everybody's situation is different. So we can't put everybody in the same box. So we get a good, what we call organizer, get a good understanding of a client's situations, their needs, goals, and objectives. And then we work on their situation, be it taxes or financial services, if they're getting ready to retire or some other life-changing event. So that's typically how we do it. And we try to inform them about areas where they can improve for the future. So we just don't do the tax return and don't talk to the client. So we advise them, this is what you can do better. We like to see improvement as we go along. Like I said, we have some clients that have been with us for multi-generations now. So we're now into some families' grandkids.
Yeah,
so
it's not transactional.
No, it's not. We look at it as a relational type of situation.
Yeah, because I'm the kind of person who looks at H&R Block and I'm like, let me just download that software and get it done because I'm holding my breath doing my taxes. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what kind of, I don't know much about tax businesses, but what kind of certifications or safety guarantees can you give your clients?
Well, we've been around again for over 35 years. It's hard for me to believe sometimes, but this is my 41st year in doing taxes on one level or another. I started doing taxes for compensation in 1984. So it's been a while. So we have experience. Our staff, collectively, our staff has about 70, 80 years of collective experience.
Wow.
All together.
I worked at the IRS. But I'm one of the good guys, so I didn't audit folks and put padlocks on folks' businesses or anything like that. So I work for the IRS. I have a finance degree, have an MBA. So we are certified with the IRS. We're electronic filers with the direct to the IRS. So we've gone through their scrutiny, and we are A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau.
Fantastic.
And we're accredited business.
Amazing.
And we've been in the Better Business Bureau over 20 years.
Well, that's awesome.
Right. And no complaints. So
that is something to really strive for sure. That's really great. And you guys are a family business. You're smaller. You love that relational contact.
Yeah, yes.
So what is it that you're concerned with your clients today, like in the state of the world right now, the economics?
I think Alex can he can speak to that. One thing is given the state we're living in challenging times, and from just about anybody's perspective, we're living in challenging times. Okay, and if you guys remember the government shutdown that happened a few weeks ago, and so from our perspective, the IRS is probably not ready like they have been in the past. Right now, if you have not, hopefully you have. For anyone out there that you file, hopefully you have filed your tax returns by now. The electronic filing will shut down this coming Friday for individuals and business returns. And right now, the IRS does not handle paper very well. So we recommend that you file electronically. So you have a trail, you have almost immediate accountability, whether they received a return, whether it was accepted or rejected. So we think that you would want, the IRS is not ready like they would be. So we don't know when electronic filing will reopen. Probably sometime, if the past repeats, sometime in the probably latter part of January that it will reopen.
And that's for the 2024 tax year?
2025 tax year. That will be filed in 2026.
Okay.
So that's a major concern. There are fairly significant tax law changes that are coming about. However, they're not out yet. We haven't seen anything. If you go to the IRS website now, you'll see only 2024 information. Usually in the past, you would have 2025's information at least to review. So a lot of the forms, a lot of the processes and procedures, they're not out yet. So that's a major concern. So we don't know what the upcoming tax filing season will bring. And all. So, right.
If I may, you can also
Alex would chime in.
Yeah, you can refer back to us as well by calling our phone number 804-321-5766 to follow up with us coming into the new year about some of the changes, because we'll stay up on top of it. You mentioned security as well too. You definitely want to file a form 15227. That's an application for an identity protection personal identification number. Basically, you get an IP PIN, and each year you would get a new one. So that would give you can't file your taxes without it once you apply for it. So that's an extra layer of security with AI and hackers and just different things happening. Now, if something has happened, someone has used your information, there's another form you can file called an ID theft affidavit. That's form 14039. So that right there can help you out as well too. If someone's fraudulently filed a return in your name, you can send that into the IRS and they can, look into it, leave a trail, and I recommend keeping a copy for yourself. So, yeah.
And someone who has no idea what any of that is, does that affect your credit? Like, should people be concerned that this would put roadblocks on other things like getting an ID, that sort of thing?
It could if somebody does something. So if someone has your information, there's always that risk. If somebody gets your social, if somebody gets your, address, account information, that kind of thing, that's a lot of sensitive information. We'll keep it, under wraps as far as, we don't release any kind of information on our clients without their consent. But, we can't speak for anybody else or anybody with nefarious intentions. So that's why, you want to be as secure as possible. Make sure, when you're using, like, let's say you're out in public, if you're using public Wi-Fi, make sure you've got passwords on your stuff. Make sure you guard your passwords on your things as well. And store all your tax source documents in a secure location as well, too. Make sure that whoever's doing your taxes, if it's not us, make sure that they're accredited, they know what they're doing, and they're, doing safe security practices as well too. So
of course. And is that free to file for the PIN?
Yes.
yeah.
And the affidavit as well?
Right. Yeah. And we can also file it. Like we're doing it for everyone, right? The ID PIN.
We recommend that everyone gets it. They don't have to,
right,
but we recommend, given the times that we're living in.
Yeah. It'll help you sleep well at night, knowing that you have that extra layer. It's kind of like multi-factor authentication for
exactly
your taxes.
Exactly.
So what is the biggest challenge in competition with like HR Block and all of the other tax filing stuff that you have online versus like going with someone like you who is a person you can talk to?
Well, you hit it right on the head. There are sort of production line types of firms out there where the goal is to get you in and out as fast as possible, given what you present to them at that time. So they do very little digging around, looking, making sure that everything's there. And so we get the personalized service. We don't really look at them as really hardcore competition. Because, like I said,
different lanes.
We're running in a different lane, and there are firms too as well that they outsource basically the services that are provided. So your taxes come into them in the door, or it comes through a website or whatever. But your the services could be paid offshore, in other countries and all, and then it comes back. So we're not comfortable with that. All the services that we provide are provided in-house and all, so we don't ship it out. So we're different in that aspect. And there are people still around that would like to sometime come into the office and see who they're dealing with, and all. So we do offer that service. We can use the technology, emails, portals, that type of thing. But like I said, we can actually, look folks in the eye, and they can come into the office, and we can meet, and we can go over what is being produced, what they need, goals and objectives, and also what has been produced.
My biggest issue is every time you upload a file, they're like, they try to put in the information, but it's always wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? You have these systems, but I'm doing more work than I should be. I might as well just put it in myself.
Yeah. It has to be verified.
Yeah.
You can't just run with it. AI and these technological tools are great, but it has to. The information has to be reviewed.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, because we actually have a fillable form as well too, our tax organizer, which gets all the initial information, and like we call it the preliminary document. So like your client intake forms, that kind of thing, and also there are other tax source documents like W-2s, 1099s. That was really big around COVID time, around 2020. I think that's when we started that, because less people were coming into the office, but people still needed to get their things done. People were getting stimulus checks. People had to do back years. So, we made a fillable forms that we could send to people, and they can send it back to us, so they can just type in their information. Right. It actually, we still accept people coming in and, talking, but we can skip the entire, first process by just having people fill the forms out, send it into us, and then we can review all your documentation as well. So that's another thing. But obviously, we're going to call you and verify who you are, talk to you, you'll get to know us, that kind of thing.
So it's more streamlined, but it's still personal.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And that makes sense. Around COVID, people were, being unemployed.
Yeah.
And maybe picking up, new jobs that were freelance, so they had to do the 1099, like that sort of thing.
Right.
So it makes sense to have that. And I'd like to come from the consumer standpoint of I can, just imagine I don't have a whole lot of money to spare. Do you guys charge hourly? Do you charge a flat fee? Like, how does that work when you're working with you to prepare your taxes? What does that look like?
Before we address that, this is something simple and basic, but it's important. And no matter who you use for your tax return preparation, make sure you get and keep a copy for yourself. A lot of people using those online services, and once it's done and they hit the button, then they go away. And they say, okay, it's done. But you may need the tax return copy at some point. And we found that some of these services, once you finish and you've paid them, then that's it. Then they don't, you may not have access to a copy, or you may have to go through a lot to get a copy, or you may have to pay extra to get a copy later.
It's good advice.
Yeah, so that's something simple, but a lot of people miss that. So they think it's done. And as far as our fees are concerned, we have a base fee based on individual taxes versus business taxes. And it depends on the complexity of the return. So there are certain forms. We have a charge for certain forms. And also it's pretty much in the business taxes, or folks that have investments, real estate, property managers, their landlords, that kind of thing, depending on how organized they are.
Right.
If you come to us with, papers and a trash bag with no structure, no organization, it's in there.
College student style.
Right.
Yeah.
There'll be extra. That will be extra charge for that. So it depends on what we have to do. So once we take a look at what's involved, then we can give a price. We do have a base price, though. We do have a base price for individuals and business returns versus business returns.
Do you have any advice on keeping your documents organized? Because I have like a folder that I throw all of my tax stuff in. So at the end of the year, I kind of have to go through it and figure out what's what.
That's a good start. I would say this. I'll start with the personal side first. So having a folder with all your tax documents, all your tax source documents, so how you're getting all your income, W-2s, you mentioned like contract work, 1099s, pensions for anybody who's got that, or taking money from maybe a retirement plan, 1099-Rs, which is part of that 1099s, even 1099 interest statements. Let's say you've got a CD or a high yield savings account. The forms that you get from those, I believe if it's $10 or more in interest, you get.
You should get a statement.
Yeah, you should get a statement. Depending on if you have multiple bank accounts, you could get multiple interest statements too from different banks, depending on how much interest you got. So just be on the lookout. And sometimes you have to download it; they're not going to send it to you. So check your apps, that kind of thing. Just keep track of it. Keep all that stuff in a folder. If you have a house, mortgage interest statement. So just all those forms and any charitable donations, keep them together. It would be a lot easier if you keep them organized. Then I'll tackle the business side. If you have a business, definitely, I can't stress this enough, keep separate bank accounts, please. A personal bank account, a business bank account. Even if it's something as simple as, to start with, opening up a new checking account, and this is all my business transactions go through here. Even if you're taking money from the personal, transferring it to the business, just making an owner contribution. Definitely keep separate bank accounts, because if you ever get audited and you're working out of the same bank account, they can pretty much say, okay, it's all personal. The IRS could say that. So you don't want to get yourself in trouble with that.
Right. Buying stuff for your business is a different kind of thing. You have different kind of taxes, especially for nonprofits who are tax exempt.
Exactly.
So it can get really complex, but that's great advice.
Yeah, definitely.
At what point would you recommend someone go through like getting your taxes prepared by one of you guys versus doing it on their own?
We in its most basic analysis, either we save you time or save you money. So if you're a very busy person and you just can't do it, can't sit down and do it and concentrate on it because you have so many other things going on, be it family or work or business, whatever, then you would consider coming to a tax pro. Or if you have a complex situation and you need to have be more tax efficient, or you're not sure, or you don't know the tax strategies to save or pay less in taxes, then you need another person on your team, another set of eyes with someone to do it. Believe it or not, we do, and we have done taxes for accountants, CPAs, because they don't like taxes. They don't want to fool with it. That's what they say. Because when you look, it's okay. You have the knowledge to do this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to do it. So it's just that simple. Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm willing to pay you to do it, to take this headache for me. So and they feel more confident that someone that's dealing with it all the time is doing it. So that's those, in its basic sense, those are the scenarios, the analysis you would make on why you would get someone else to do it versus trying to do it yourself.
And also the good advice that you guys have to give. I mean,
that's the extras, looking down the road, seeing the potholes that may be out there, telling you, okay, you probably don't want to do that. You're looking, because you can talk yourself into whatever ideal you have in mind. You can say, okay, yeah, that's the best thing. I came up with that, but it may not be. So you need somebody else to look at it and say, okay, well, you may want to turn left instead of turning right. You'll get a better result if you turn left versus turning right. So, yes.
Yeah. So I want to kind of pivot from the consumer side to your guys' business. Mm-hmm. So, your father and son, you've been, a tax preparer and a managing assistant for Derek and helping out in that way. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that your guys' business does outside of taxes? Is there anything interesting that you guys have done? I just love to get to know that a little bit.
Yeah. We do more than taxes. We do financial and business consulting services, such as like retirement planning. This is the end of the year. Quite a few folks are retiring now or considering retiring. End of the year, beginning of next year. So we provide advice and counsel as far as on the financial side regarding that, with like pensions and 401ks and how to handle that, because that is a time when most people need some advice and counsel, because a lot of times, from what we've seen, that final year when they're working full time, that's a lot of times their highest earning year, especially if they're like Social Security age, because they'll receive Social Security. They may have worked most or all of the year. And then they may have severance, payouts, vacation, sick pay payouts, all kinds of things they may have. And when they look, a lot of times they're surprised at how much money, once you add everything up, how much money is accumulated. So, and a lot of those plans, pensions, 401ks, 403b, tax sheltered annuity plans are taxable. They have tax strains attached. If you're on the younger side, like under 60, then they have even more tax strings attached, such as penalties for early withdrawals. Mm-hmm. So it's not like Christmas fund money. So you have to look at it differently. So a lot of times you need advice and counsel there. We help businesses, small businesses with business consulting, mostly on the financial side, helping them put together financial statements, cash flow, profit and loss, that type of thing. So yeah, we do more than taxes, but we always, a lot of time we look at it from a tax angle, because that's where most individuals and businesses can exhibit savings. If you can save on the taxes, that goes a long way in making financial progress. So if you're giving away more than you should in taxes, then you're not doing all that you can do financially. Mm-hmm.
And you guys also give away as well with the Good Neighbor Foundation.
Right. Scholarship.
What is that? Tell me more about that.
Well, we have high school seniors, graduates, usually my father, Derek Alford, and my mother, Angela Alford. They usually interview the applicants, and they find, worthy as in, they fill out the application and everything like that, and they have the right GPA, and, they obviously look into their background, find an applicant for the Good Neighbor Foundation. And usually our clients are the ones who donate, and sometimes other business partners and things like that, they donate to the fund, and then we use those funds to give to the applicant. So, yep.
Very cool. Yep. What do you look for in an applicant? Like, And want to do taxes or?
That's not a requirement. You got to go into the tax field. Basically, it's our contribution to the community. We just don't want to take from the community. We want to be contributors to the community. So we've been doing this for I think 2008. As far as doing this scholarship. So basically, we look for an applicant, and it's post-secondary education that we college, university, vocational. It does not have to be, college. You don't have to be going to Harvard or anything like that to get the scholarship. So we look for, certain level of academic achievement, community involvement. They need some references, someone to say something good about them in the community. They're teachers, counselors, principals, employers. If they've been in any community-based organizations, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, church. So that's folks with good character that are looking to better themselves. So this is our contribution in helping them to do that. So, and we have had 2 graduates that were recipients. One graduated last year from UVA, and one graduated this year, a week or 2 ago, from VCU. So that's rewarding to see that. So
Exciting.
We plan on continuing that. And we've given away over $10,000 over the years.
Yep.
So yes. So we want to continue. Yes.
Very cool. And is that for students within the Central Virginia area, or just anybody who applies?
We haven't really put any geographical parameters on it. Most of the time they come by reference. Some of our clients, we have a fair amount of educators that are clients, so they will pass it on to their students. And also other clients themselves. They'll tell family members and folks in the neighborhood and organizations that they're members of.
Very neat.
Yeah.
So can you find information about that online? And where else can people find out about you if they want to get their taxes done?
Yeah. So obviously the phone number is 804-321-5766. So that's the office number. Our address is 2650 Hall Street Road. That's 2650 Hall Street Road. So you can come by, of course, you can call us. Our website,
FiscalFitnessTax.com. Also, we have the Good Neighbor Foundation has its own website. So it's goodneighborfoundation.org.
Right. And there's a link to it on the Fiscal Fitness website as well. And you can donate to the Good Neighbor Foundation on their website as well, too. So
awesome. Well, we will put all those links down in the description below for people to find you.
Okay.
And they can find you on Facebook and Instagram as well. We'll put those links in there. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Surely.
And teaching me a thing or two about taxes.
Okay.
I feel better informed, and I hope our viewers do as well.
Definitely.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a pleasure, and thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Have a wonderful day. This has been an honor. Much continued success and blessings to the listeners.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Happy holidays as well.
Happy holidays,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff.
Right, definitely.
All right.
And check us out wherever you get your podcast. Check us out on YouTube. We've got all of our videos up there. And have a great day.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.